1 second. Hold on. Just hold on. Just be patient. Okay. The agenda begins now.
Never fall back. We will stay right where we at.
What's good, Detroit Sports Nation? I am Eric Vincent, your host here at the DSN News Desk. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your time and support because NFL speculation has been out of control today. And at the center of the talk has been the Detroit Lions and quarterback Lamar Jackson. Now, we all know what the issue is with Lamar Jackson. We know what the conversation has been. Lamar Jackson has been at contractual war with the Baltimore Ravens really for the past couple years now at this point. He's looking for a big lump sum of money, and the Ravens are pretty much saying, we don't believe you're worth it. And I think it's unfortunate. I think it's crazy that they haven't paid him yet, and it is what it is. They've given him the non-exclusive franchise tag, and at this point, other teams can reach out for the possibility of inquiring about him. And according to Bet Online and a write-up on our website, DetroitSportsNation.com, shout out to WG Brady, the Lions are the betting favorites at plus 300 to land Lamar Jackson. What? Oh. Now, as a fan, I'm ecstatic of the idea. And I don't think it's wrong to entertain the idea. As a fan, or even if I was sitting in the Lions front office, I think it's a good idea to discuss it. But realistically, if we were to come back down to earth, I don't think it's going to happen. So we can live in reality and say that. I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to become a Detroit Lion. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think somebody will be a little bit more desperate. I don't buy that those 5 or 6 teams that are allegedly not interested in him. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he's just going to be stuck to the wall with the Baltimore Ravens. I think someone's going to pull the trigger on him. And I feel like the Lions should at the very least be in that discussion. Because while Jared Goff is a good football player, like I talked about on the last episode of the News Desk, I believe he has a ceiling. I believe there is a limit to how far your future goes with Jared Goff. And at this point, I believe the Lions think the exact same thing. Dan Campbell was just at the NFL Combine saying that we love Jared Goff. He's done a great job, but he's not going to be here for 10 more years. And I don't think that's a smoke and mirrors comment. I know it's the draft season and I know, free agency is coming up soon, but to say something like that publicly is not coach speak. That's not something that you just blurt out publicly for your quarterback to catch wind of. That's a very direct statement made by Dan Campbell. And I think he meant it. And he should. In my opinion, he absolutely should. If we look at the landscape of what the free agency market has been, we've seen guys like Daniel Jones get big money. We've seen Derek Carr get big money. And if the Lions see the success that we expect them to see in this weak NFC, in this drowning division, if we see the success that we think Jared Goff can provide, I believe we are going to have to pay more than what Daniel Jones and Derek Carr just got. And I'm sitting here in the mindset thinking, if I'm going to spend $50 million a year, I want the best bang for my buck possible. And in my opinion, I believe you have more upside in a former MVP, a 26-year-old quarterback, Lamar Jackson, than you have in Jared Goff at this point. A guy who's a statue, a guy that's not very mobile, that doesn't improvise well, a guy that, again, I believe only works when everything is perfect around him. When his weapons were taken away from the Rams, what happened? He looked like a pedestrian. The first year with the Lions, when the team wasn't that good, was he elevating guys, playmaking people around him better? No, not necessarily. Has Lamar Jackson done that? Yeah, absolutely. And he has been crippled with very limited offensive assistance around him thanks to the Baltimore Ravens. If I'm sitting here with a lump sum of money, I'm not going to blow that money on the nicest Corolla that I can find. I'm going to blow that money on the nicest luxury car that I can find that's going to make it last for the next 10 years. I'd rather blow that $50 million a year on a guy like Lamar Jackson, who's younger, has more upside, and in my opinion can do exactly what Jared Goff did last year. Like, let's be very clear. Let's go over Jared Goff's specific numbers for what he did last season. 4,438 yards passing, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Very good numbers. 65% completion percentage. Very good numbers. But I don't think those are impossible to repeat. I don't think those are numbers that are just going to be just astronomically impossible for any quarterback to do. Like, I don't think that's the case at all. I think Goff has shown that he can do well within this system. But there is a growing point where you can find something different. You could find something different. There's been plenty of discussions on Lions Twitter about the possibility of dealing the number 18 pick for a Jalen Ramsey or a Marshawn Lattimore, a key defensive player. If you would trade the number 18 pick for one of those two guys, you can trade that pick for Lamar Jackson as well. Because what the rumors is and what the sayings are, apparently all it's going to cost to get him would possibly be a number 18 pick, another first next year, and a secondary pick after that, like in the 3rd or 4th round, maybe the 2nd at the earliest. And I'm totally okay with that at this point. If you want to throw Jared Goff in that deal to make it sweeter, I would make that happen, guys, immediately. I don't really see what the debate is about that. This guy, Lamar Jackson, has not even entered his prime yet. And as he ages and gets older, because people are so worried about his injuries and his body and all that type stuff, I believe as he gets older and as we've seen him progress in his career, he's gotten better as a passer, and you're not going to lean on him so heavily to use his legs to be that impact runner that he was his MVP year. Just grow as a passer. And when he's playing behind a top 5 offensive line, an ascending array of weapons with Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo Williams, who's a flyer, a great backfield that has a lot of potential, and you have resources to give him another target to play with, or another offensive guard on the offensive line to protect him. You have a lot of resources at your disposal to take Lamar Jackson to a whole nother level. What more do you believe we're going to see from Jared Goff with more weapons? I think maybe we'll see similar numbers to what he did last year, which isn't bad. But if there's a step higher that you can go, you take that next step. Like, be clear. The Chiefs just did the exact same thing when they drafted Patrick Mahomes. Alex Smith was good. He just got them to the playoffs. There were plenty of fans, I'm sure, that were saying, oh, we've turned him around, and people doubted him when he left San Francisco, and Alex Smith is our guy. Oh, wait, we have a superstar now. Oh, wait, we have an MVP caliber player under center now. That's the situation that you're putting yourself in now with the Lions. Again, I want to be very clear on this. I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't believe it's actually going to happen. I think someone else is going to get more desperate and pay Lamar the money he's looking for, break the bank, give way more resources to get him over to their team. I don't think it's going to be the Lions that make that happen. But this notion that Goff is better than Lamar Jackson, that Lamar's not even worth the discussion of trading these type of resources around him, is absolute blasphemy. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't agree with that in any way, shape, or form. Lamar Jackson is 26 years old and still has ridiculous amount of football in front of him. There's a lot of rookies that are coming out that are playing at 24, 25 years old. And then when they sit for a couple years, they don't get their shot until they're about 26 years old. So let's be very clear. Him sitting at 26, even with his injuries, is not considered old. Lamar Jackson is somebody that you can build on for the next 10 years. And with this Lions foundation that's in front of him, which is a player-friendly coaching staff, great ascending offensive weapons, resources to make that defense even better. And on top of that, everything about him fits the narrative to be not only the most entertaining Detroit Lion, he would easily become the new face of the Detroit Lions. Because right now, that face of the Lions is still just Dan Campbell, if we're being honest. It's not one of the players. It's not Jared Goff. He's not the face of this franchise. It's not Aiden Hutchinson yet. It could be down the line, but it's not yet. Lamar could be that guy immediately. He is must-see TV. He is a box office player. He easily would become the best quarterback in the NFC. You could argue right now Jared Goff would not be that. If you bring Lamar Jackson in right now, he's better than Jalen Hurts. He's better than Matthew Stafford. He's better than anybody else you can line up in the NFC. Dak Prescott, he'd be the best quarterback in the NFC. Again, I don't believe it's going to happen, but my fingers are crossed as a fan. I wrote an article about this to start off the season, that it might be a good idea for the Lions to call and inquire about getting Lamar. Because as a fan, I think it's a slam dunk option. I think he's worth that money. You're potentially going to have to pay it to somebody. And if you're going to pay it to somebody, you pay it to somebody with the most upside possible. And it's not even close in terms of upside. Jared Goff does not have anywhere close to the upside of what Lamar Jackson has. It's not even close, guys. Make it happen. Get on the phone. I would love to see it. But talk to me in the comment section. I would love to hear your feedback. Do you think the Detroit Lions should make a move for Lamar Jackson? It's that simple. Yes or no? Talk to me. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. Make sure you like the video as well and subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. We're on our way up to 7,000 subscribers, and we would love to make that happen with your support. We would greatly appreciate it. Lock in on our social media as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the above. Search and follow Detroit Sports Nation, and lock in with me as well at I am Eric Vincent. Thank you all so much for your time and support. I greatly anticipate a debate in the comments about this. Lamar Jackson has been a very hot button topic, and I can't wait to see your comments in the comment section. I'll be right back again. We'll talk to you soon with another update right here from the DSN News Desk. Peace.